Now the question comes that how to attach the secondary suffix with the primary suffix, right? So if you get to see a functional group in a chain, it is not like that you will be just writing the name along. We have a certain rule which has to be followed, and that is an important rule. If you will violate that rule, then your question is going to be wrong, right? So let's see that what's that rule. So it is like that. Suppose if I'll make an example for you. So here we have already written it. So it is C, 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 and we get to COH, right? So that means there is a functional group, and which functional group? Obviously that is the alcoholic group. So how we are going to attach the primary suffix with the secondary suffix, that I am going to tell you. So obviously to first we know that we have to write the word root, right? So the word root is but, because there are 4 carbon atoms, and we know that 4 is specified by the but, so that is why I am going to write this word root as but, right? Now we have to attach the primary suffix and the secondary suffix with it, right? So just look for the primary suffix first. So what is the primary suffix? See, you get to see only single bond present. You get to see only single bond between them. So obviously suffix is going to be ane. So that means I'll write this plus sign, and then afterwards we'll attach them with following that rule that I was specifying you. So that is ane, right? Then do you get to see any functional group? Yes, we get to see a functional group, and that is the OH group, that is the hydroxyl group. And what is the suffix for it, if you can recall? Yes, it is all. So that means all. Now the important point is that whenever you add the secondary suffix with the primary suffix, it is not like that you add in a direct manner, but somehow in certain cases we do that also, right? But what is that important point which I want you to write and just practice it, and that plays an important role, is that whenever you attach the secondary suffix with the primary suffix, and if in case the secondary suffix starts with the vowel, right, it is only applicable if the secondary suffix starts with the first letter, that first letter is a vowel. I think you are clear that vowels are A, E, I, O, U, right? So in this case, the secondary suffix starts with which letter? O, right? And is it a vowel or a consonant? Yes, it is a vowel. So that means the rule which I am going to tell you will be followed in this case, right? So what is that rule? This rule is that whenever the secondary suffix starts with the vowel and you attach it with the primary suffix, then we have to drop the E of the primary suffix. That means we have to drop the E of this primary suffix, and then we can attach it. So after just removing, what that becomes? But, ane, E, I have removed all. So name is butanol, right? So I think you've got it, that what is this important point which I was just expecting you to learn, is that when you attach the secondary suffix with the primary suffix, you attach in any case, right? But if the secondary suffix name starts with, the letter starts with the vowel, that is the A, E, I, O, U, then we use that rule, that is when we attach secondary suffix to the primary suffix, we drop the E of this primary suffix and then we attach it, right? So this is the rule, and an important rule. See, these are so many rules. So if you will violate one rule, if you will forget to write the die, or you forgot to remove the E, the question is going to be completely wrong. So that means you need to be well versed with the minute points as well, right? That is why I am telling you to write, to make a note or important note, that yes, this and this has to be done like that. So this is what is the important rule, that when we are attaching the secondary suffix with the primary suffix and it starts with the vowel, then you have to drop the E of the primary suffix, right? I think you got it now. Now we have already done with the secondary suffix, right? Now the question comes, these substituents. What is indicated by the substituents, right? Suppose I'll make a chain for you to state an example. Let's make here. Right, so there is a chain and we don't have only straight chain carbon atoms, we have this branched type of chain, right? So that means for this we have to consider the parent chain first. As I was explaining in the word root, that we do not include all the carbon atoms in an organic compound, we include carbon atoms which are present only in a parent chain. So that means there has to be some parent chain. What is it exactly? We will be following the rules, I will be explaining you the rules as well, then you will be clear that what is the parent chain. But for this moment, I want you to be familiar with the substituents, so that is why I am giving you this example. So suppose we have a chain like this, and if I say that the parent chain is this one, right? So that means these all carbon atoms which comes under this blue block falls, or you can say they form the parent chain. They are the carbon atoms of the parent chain. But the carbon atoms which are above or below, or you can say which are not included in the parent chain, they are considered to be substituents. So this is a substituent, this is a substituent, this is a substituent. So that means anything that remains, you can say remains behind after selecting the parent chain is considered to be a substituent, right? So substituent can be a carbon atom, or you can say the alkyl group, and it can also be a functional group. So this I am going to explain, just listen to me carefully. First of all, you should know that what kind of substituents can be there. It can be alkyl group, it can be functional group, right? It is clear to you. Now the question comes, what is an alkyl group, right? We know alkanes, you know the members of alkane, you know the alkane family, you are familiar with it. That is the methane, ethane, propane, butane, so on. You can write many members, right? So if I am removing one hydrogen from each alkane, then what I am going to get? Like it is a methane and I am removing one hydrogen atom from it. So what does it become? It becomes CH3 bond. That means this bond is ready to be linked with some other atom in order to satisfy the 4 valency, right? So because this alkyl group, this after the removal of hydrogen group, what we get the alkyl group, right? And this removal of hydrogen take place only from the alkanes, not from the alkenes or alkynes. Make it clear, right, in your copies that this removal of hydrogen occur only in case of alkanes. And after removing hydrogen from an alkane, what you get? You get an alkyl group. Alkyl, it is ALKYL, alkyl group, and the suffix for the alkyl group is YL group, YL. So that is the YL group. So that means the substituent can be alkyl group. Like if it is formed from methane, so it's named as methyl group. If it is formed from ethane, it is ethyl group. If it has 3 carbon atoms, that means it is formed from propane, so it is a propyl group. So this is how you are going to name the alkyl groups accordingly by just looking at the number of the carbon atoms. That is methyl, ethyl, propyl, likewise, right? So that means the atoms which are left after numbering the parent chain can be an alkyl group. And you know that what is an alkyl group? The hydrogen removed from the alkane give rise to the alkyl group, right? We are not concerned with the hydrogen, right? It is the alkyl group. That means that like CH3 bond. So CH3 bond, that means ready to link with some other carbon atom in order to satisfy valency, so it indicates the methyl group. So this is how, right? And the other category of substituent what we get is a functional group, right? You must be thinking that first I was telling you this, that functional group forms the secondary suffix, and now I am telling you that functional group can also form the substituent. So under what condition we take functional group as a substituent? Just listen to me carefully. Suppose we have a compound, right, like I am stating you this, there is a compound and we have this OH attached and I have this also, right? So that means I will write again so that it should be clear to you. Suppose I have like this. I am giving you another example that is different from this, right? So if I give you this example and I ask you that what it has got, you will say that yes, it has got a parent chain of carbon atoms, right? It has got single bonds, because the single bonds are indicated the type of bonds between C and C, not with C and O. So you will not specify that there is a double bond between C and O. It is not a member of unsaturated compound, because unsaturated alkene and alkyne means double bond or triple bond between carbon-carbon, right? That means that you know the property of catenation. So that means we get to see only single bonds, so obviously it is a member of alkane. So primary suffix is ane, right? Now do you get to see some functional group? Yes, we get to see a functional group, and what is that? It is OH, that means alcoholic group, and the CO, that means ketonic group. So now the question must be striking in your mind that we have only one secondary suffix. That means we have to use one functional group as a parent functional group, and its suffix is going to be function as secondary suffix. So what I am going to do in these two categories, if I get a compound which has more than one functional group, then we have an order of preference, right? So we have an order like which you can say the group falls first is given a preference, that means it is considered as a parent functional group, and that parent functional group suffix is used as a secondary suffix, and the other functional group is used as a substituent then in that case. For example, in this what we'll be doing, this ketonic group is actually preferred over hydroxyl group. So that means we are going to use the primary suffix this ketonic group, and this OH is going to act as a substituent, right? So that means we'll be using this OH as a substituent, that means we'll be using it under the prefix. So this is how we get to write the name of the compound. So just look at the prefix which are used for the different functional groups if you can say some other functional group is preferred over them, right? So what is that? If you get to see F in a parent chain and there is a functional group which acts as a parent functional group and the other which is substituent, and if in case it is F, so it is prefixed by using a word fluoro, right? Br for bromo, I for ido, and Cl for chloro. The halogens are so simple, you know, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, all are halogens, right? So what you just prefix for that, fluoro, chloro, bromo, ido. They sound to be synonym to each other. So I think it will be clear to you, that is the fluoro, chloro, bromo and ido. Write in your copy as well, right? And if you get to see NO2, then it is nitro group. What you are going to prefix in this case? Nitro. NH2 amino. See, look at this. If NH2 is present as a parent functional group, we are using amine. But when we are using it as a substituent, we are using amino. That means this E is converted into O. So it is an easy method to learn. When it is a parent functional group, it is amine. When it is a substituent, then it is amino, right? And we have NO as nitroso. NN, this is diazo. This also plays an important role. We have many organic compound which has this diazo group, right? So this is the diazo, NN. Again, what you get to see in this, OCH3. You know that this is a methyl group, right? And O. So what is the name given to this OCH3? It is methoxy, right? It indicates CH3 is indicated by meth, O is indicated by oxy. So it becomes methoxy. And if there are two carbon atoms, it becomes ethoxy. So these two are also similar to each other. They are easy to recall. It is methoxy, one carbon atom with O, and it is ethoxy with two carbon atom and O, right? And this, when it is serving as a parent functional group, we use all. And when it is used as a suffix, the substituent, we prefix hydroxyl group. Like in this case, we are going to specify this OH position, the name of this OH will fall into the category of prefix. And what word we'll be using? We'll be using the hydroxyl group by specifying the position as well. So I think it is clear that what actually the name of the compound consists of. So I think it's clear that name actually consists of three parts, right? The prefix, which is indicated by the substituent. You know that what are substituents. Any atom or a group of atom which is left after the parent chain, above or below doesn't matter, this side or that side doesn't matter, that form the substituent category, and we use a specific kind of words for them. We have got a full list for you. These are, I'm again repeating you, this is not the only groups, this is only the few which I have listed for you, right? So you just need to know that yes, this is going to act as a substituent, and you need to know that name of the compound, that's it. But the rules which is to be followed will remain the same. Second is the word root. Again, it is a basic tool, because while we were doing alkane, alkene, alkyne, we did in that also, right? So it just specified the number of carbon atoms in a chain. That is meth, het, prop, bute, pent. You know that it is now in your hand. You know that how to write it, right? Third is the suffix. Again, it is very simple. Primary suffix indicating the type of bond. Secondary suffix indicating the functional group. Primary suffix ane, ene, ine, accordingly the single bond, double bond or a triple bond. An important point, I think you don't forget that if we get to see two double bond or a two triple bond, then we are going, or more than two, we are just going to prefix di, tri, tert, and if we don't, we'll fail to attempt that question. That means it will be completely wrong. So you need to learn this point, right? The next is the secondary suffix. secondary suffix just indicate the functional group, and that functional group is not all the functional groups which are present in a chain. It is the primary functional group which is preferred over other functional group if in case there are more than one functional group present. And one more important point, I think you can recall now, that it is not so simple to attach secondary suffix with the primary suffix. If secondary suffix start with a vowel, that is the A, E, I, O, U, then we are going to drop the E of the primary suffix. This is also an important point, you need to learn that. So if you are well versed with this basic one, then you can do the this IUPAC, the naming of compound won't be a tough task for you, right? So just be first attempt should be that before you start the IUPAC, first learn the word root list, then learn the secondary suffix list, then go through the substituent list. When you are you have everything, this kind of thing clear in your mind, the frame is well built in your mind, then you are in a position to attempt the question, or then you are in a position to know the rules which is to be followed in the IUPAC, that will be taking up now.